Who's Leroy Jenkins?
It's that famous video on the internet where it came out, and I'm gonna like spoil this for everyone that it was fake, and
Just a meme.
it's just a meme.
What is it?
It's an old meme.
It's an old meme. I'm dating myself now.
2005.
What's the meme though?
He's gonna play it for you.
It's tough. I mean, I'll
Is
be
it
honest
bad?
with you. No, it's just.
It's
It comes
stupid.
from a lot of places. It's like an onion. It's layers.
I don't
and
want the
layers and layers
store
down.
open. Why is it open the store
if I
every
start
time,
explaining
dude?
it, I'm
I
gonna
just
get
want to play
lost.
games.
I'll be wrong. So
I don't understand it.
it's
though.
just it's internet talk. I don't know. It's something people say.
Why is Leroy Jenkins so famous?
Because
the character became popular in 2005. His role in a viral video of game footage where, when having been absent
Yeah, why
during
is it
his
on
group's
this?
discussion of a meticulous plan, Leroy returns and ruins it by charging straight into combat while shouting his own name
Oh,
as a
bless
battle
play the
cry.
video. You have to play the video. It's so good. Please.
So what game is this?
Okay, guys, these eggs have given us
What game is
in
it?
the past.
World of Warcraft?
I can't
Okay.
believe you
Does
don't know.
anybody need anything off this guy, or can we bypass him?
I think Leroy needs something from this guy.
Oh, he needs those devout shoulders. Isn't he a paladin?
Oh my god, these dorks.
Yeah, but that'll help him heal
I
better,
love
have
it.
more mana.
Christ. Okay. Well, what we'll do, I'll run in first, gather up all the eggs so we can kind of just blast them all down with AoE. I will use Intimidating Shout to kind of scatter them so we don't have to fight a whole bunch of them at once. When my shout's done, I'll need Anthony to come in and drop his shout too, so we can keep them scattered and not have to fight too many. When his is done, Bass, of course, will need to run in and do the same thing. We're going to need Divine Intervention on our mages, so they can AE, so we can, of course, get them down fast, because we're bringing all these guys. I mean, we'll be in trouble if we don't take them down quick. I think it's a pretty good plan. We should be able to pull it off this time. What do you think, Abdul? Can you give me a number crunch real quick?
Yeah, give me a sec.
This is
I'm coming up
amazing.
with 32.33, repeating, of course, percentage of survival.
Repeating, of course.
Oh, that's a lot better than we usually do.
All right, chums up.
Ready, guys?
Let's do this. Leroy Jenkins! Oh my god, he just ran in.
Oh, geez, stick and clean.
Oh Jesus, let's go.
Oh, so Leroy wasn't paying attention to their plan. He just came back from taking a shit.
Give me divine intervention.
Hurry up.
Shout.
I can't cast.
And that's
I can't
Leroy.
move. Am I lagging, guys? I can't move.
They all die.
Yeah, it's just.
Everybody dies?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, the plan went awry.
But then
How funny is it that out of all the people playing World of Warcraft, this one thing where he says Leroy Jenkins becomes famous?
Well, we became famous, and then I think the most
never heard about
heartbreaking thing that I ever heard was that didn't it come out that it was like planned? It was something that was, it wasn't organic. It was something that, I don't know, I feel like I had my heart broken when I found out that was something that was like it was planned. It wasn't something that was just like someone got on, I don't know, I've been saying it for years. I love it.
So it wasn't just a guy coming back not paying attention?
I feel like I'm going to break hearts because I'm not sure that
You're not going to break hearts. No one even knows. How many people know about this?
So many people know about this. It's huge.
You guys are so much more deep into the internet than I am.
No.
You most certainly are because you know about Leroy Jenkins. I didn't know about it until just
Yeah,
now.
Joe Rogan did not know about Leroy
Pick up a
Jenkins.
quick bottle, drink it down, and
No,
get
so
moving.
remember me telling you about the internet
It's not like vitamins where
reflecting
you're like,
real
okay,
life?
well, I need to eat
Joe
first before I take
Rogan
this, or else
didn't
my
even.
tummy is
He
rumbling.
barely
No,
knew about
you would
World of
start
Warcraft, dude.
your day with
He was
AG1.
like, "What game is
it's
this?"
Very
No,
handy.
he's a real good.
Very
No, dude,
easy
that's
to
real
handle
life.
first thing
Those
in the
people.
morning.
Now your age,
Head
there's
over
a
to
lot more people, but even
drinkag1.com/Jeff
then,
to
dude,
get a
like,
free welcome kit, including a bottle of vitamin D and 5 AG1 travel packs. That's a $76 value.
Dude, he was
when you
he
first
was your age
subscribe.
when the internet came
That's
out.
drinkag1.com.
He was 20 something
/Jeff.
when World of Warcraft came. I'm just saying, all those dudes in the tire shops, all those dudes in the
We're back
welding
with the
shops,
news. Can you believe this
they
shit?
don't know who Leroy
Microsoft is
Jenkins
raising
That's all I'm trying to
prices
say.
on the
internet
Xbox
is not
again.
real life.
Your friends and mine
So,
at
yeah, I know Joe's
VideoGamesChronicle.com
older,
note
and
that
I
this
know
is
he's not,
merely
but he's
5
in the
months
right
after
range.
the last
Like,
price
he's
increase.
World of Warcraft, he was
man.
there.
And that now a 2 terabyte Xbox Series X is
World of
more
Warcraft's
expensive than a
20-something
PlayStation
years old
5
now,
Pro.
right? So
It's really that previous
and he
price
kind of knew, like he
rise,
knew what World of
raise.
Warcraft was. But yeah,
that
as far as the whole,
that was the bad one. I don't know. These
no,
ones
just
are.
saying, like, yeah,
it's
because to
kind of
me,
all over the
everybody
place.
knows about Leroy
The
Jenkins.
2 terabyte Galaxy
And he had
Black
no fucking
Xbox Series
clue at
X
all.
is now $800.
And so, but in his
That's
circle,
up from
there'd
$730,
be a lot of those
and it launched
guys
at
that would
$600.
know. Like, how many of them would know what
The
Dark
kind of
Souls is?
baseline
Joe
Xbox
would
Series
know.
X, which I believe is a 1 terabyte drive, is now $650, which is up from
You
$600,
think so?
which is previously up from $500.
Who do you think Joe
So
Rogan knows plays
that
Dark
previous
Souls?
thing 5 months ago was a much larger
That he
raise in
hangs
most
out with
cases
and
for
talks
most of
to.
these devices. This is just kind of a little extra. Hey, how do you
So
do?
where'd
Hey,
it
how's it
go on
going
the
over there?
internet that he would hear about?
If you want a digital Xbox Series X, meaning one that
I'm
does not
not
have
being.
a drive
That's what I'm
slot
trying
on
to
it,
say.
that
I'm
is
just trying to break
$600.
down barriers. Like,
That was
you think
$549
Joe
originally,
hangs
and it
around
launched at
anybody that
$449. A
plays
1
Dark Souls?
terabyte Xbox Series S
Because obviously he was never been around
is now
anybody who plays World of
$450. It was
Warcraft or what
$430, and it launched at
Jenkins was.
$350.
And that's all I'm trying
And
to
the
say is
lowest
about
tier of
reality and the
Xbox, the
internet not
512
reflecting
gigabyte Xbox
how
Series
big
S,
things are.
is now
The
$400,
internet
up from
acts like these things are
$380.
really
It was
big,
originally
popular, and then really they're
$300.
not. You know what I mean? You get a small community.
These are
who's
bad.
You get the
These are
Souls
bad deals.
community.
These are bad deals for video
who
game
is very
machines.
For
insular.
video game machines that
And then they all jump
don't
and they
have
give
a
a
tremendous
false
amount of
impression
video
of how
games to play
popular
on
things
them.
are. Because then and then they become religious.
Yeah.
that aren't available
And then they
elsewhere.
go out and all they talk
Right.
about Souls.
Yeah. I guess
all they
it
talk
really,
about Souls.
you know,
And every game's a soul bite.
I think we always think about this like mythical person who like doesn't own any of this stuff, and like what should they buy if they had like no investment in any ecosystem whatsoever? Like what is the actual right answer to that question? I don't know that I have the answer to that anymore. Like Game Pass is still a thing, and so if you're budget minded, that is still a way to get access to a lot of games.
And now an Xbox costs $1,000.
It's the guys who want to play FIFA and Call of Duty.
So anyways, I get pissy and upset.
I guess, but FIFA's not on Game Pass. Well, FIFA's not
dweller,
FIFA anymore, but also
no life,
pieces
of shit.
No, now it is called EA.
Ruining
FIFA
the
decided that they
fucking
wanted a lot
industry for
more money
everybody
for
else.
the name FIFA, and so EA said, "How about instead
No,
we
dude.
go keep
I
making
get
this
upset
game
about
we're
it.
making, but we
Very,
don't write
very
FIFA on the
upset
box."
about
And so now it is
anyways,
called.
not to blow, but
Brace yourself for this. EA Sports FC
okay.
with a year after it's
Football
FC.
club.
Okay,
Yeah,
you
football
can say
club, I
it's
guess.
Footy club.
Football council.
Boom, boom, boom.
I don't.
Yeah, footy.
Yeah.
You don't pronounce the T.
And then
And yeah,
FIFA was
Bob,
like, we're going to go make our
I'm
own game.
mad
And I don't think that
because
has
it's
materialized. Or if it did, it was a mobile game that no one heard about.
And
But, you know,
there's not a
FIFA,
3 to
a
4
very
or 5
normal and
hour
not corrupt
game
organization.
that Joe
Right.
Rogan
Yeah.
can play.
Much
Yeah,
like-
I mean,
Yeah.
we're dealing
And
with
be a
EA
big
also.
cinematic experience.
Yeah, but like at some point, like if you've got interest in specific types of games,
You got my
you have to face that, like, okay, all of the games that would be available on an Xbox, with like rare exception, are available elsewhere. You could get a
How much
PC.
money that
Increasingly,
lasts?
you
It's
could get a
still making
PlayStation,
money online,
because all of those games are coming out there now too.
I sure
It's
am
still
famous,
making
Mr.
money.
Whoopi.
And that if you, or even Switch, I think we'll start to see more and more of the Xbox library appearing on the first party library appearing on Switch too, as time goes on.
But you know
That's
why
not
we
quite
don't
there
have any
yet,
more
but
good games like GTA? Because they're all fucking Souls-like, Joseph.
it just feels
And then people buy
like
the game,
I don't know,
they play
like
it for 2
PlayStation
hours.
has already raised price on their stuff already, and now
So we don't have any games like
what is the
GTA,
cost? Like a
but we
PS5
got
Pro
8,000
launched at
fucking hard
$750.
games.
Right.
8,000
And,
puzzle fucking game.
Now it's like, what? How much do they want for one of these things? Hang on, let me just double check here. Okay, it is still $750. To its credit,
Appealing to
it
the
is still too
same
expensive,
hardcore nerd
but I don't believe they've raised it.
over
But
and
a
over
lot
and
of the
over.
baseline models they have brought up, and
That's cool, bro.
obviously, like the
It's
Switch
cool.
2. I guess it
It's
did launch at
cool.
7.
Your hobby, huh? Your
I guess I
hobby.
didn't pay $750
Push
for mine,
everybody
but
out.
It was 7, so they
Push all
they
the
have raised
normies
that
out,
thing
bro.
50
Push them
bucks.
out. Fuck no.
The
Can't
Switch
be having
2, they
normies
raised the price
playing
on their
Dungeons
accessories
and
instead of the
fucking
console,
dragons, for fuck's
I
sake.
do feel like
Oh,
we're right around
no.
the corner of them
Shit,
raising the
what
price
will
on the
we
Switch
do?
2, before too long here,
No, man.
which is
The fuck,
going into the holiday
guys?
season like really crazy. They've started charging $50 for amiibos. Like the new Kirby amiibos that just came out or whatever launched at like $50.
Jesus.
It's too much money.
Yeah.
All of this stuff is too much money. So like, I don't know what the recommendation is to somebody about what they get. I mean, I think I tend to still kind of favor the PC just because you can do the most with it. And, Steam sales are still like, if you've not been surviving through the last decade or so of Steam sales where you already own everything that goes on sale anyway,
right.
The Steam sales are probably still pretty impressive to players that don't have all that shit already.
Hey man, see you later, dog. Have some
And
fun
so,
with that.
yeah, I don't know, man. This whole thing feels real bad. Everyone likes to kind of the Microsoft numbers are not so down in the dumps that this is like this is a death knell for them or whatever. I mean, they're just reacting to tariffs and the horrific situation, economic situation that all of these console manufacturers have been dealt. And so that is where the shit
blame
show
the tariffs,
emanates
bro.
from. These are just reactions to that in a lot of cases. But man, this just feels like all of these price increases just feel like crippling at a time when these prices were supposed to be lower so that people who are price
You don't have the
sensitive
customer
that didn't buy
base,
these
dude.
things at launch now have
You no longer have the
incentive to
customer
get
base for mass
involved
market prices.
and buy video games. Like if you're making video games,
Yep, that's how it
these
works,
seem like
dude.
increasingly desperate times. There was
The
some
cost
quotes
can't
from
be fucking
Capcom.
spread.
I believe they were
So
coming
now
out of
you're
Japan.
having to pay more for your
They were talking
entertainment.
about sales of Monster Hunter and sales of Monster Hunter specifically on PlayStation.
Which is a key performance.
And you're going to try to blame the tariffs, and you're going to try to blame this instead of the choices you made in fucking fundamental game design
the sales of that have been mostly
philosophy.
fine, but they found themselves
That games should be
kind of
fun.
behind the eight ball a little bit.
That
over
you just
PC
wouldn't
performance,
make
like
fun
everyone is
games.
these days.
Make every fucking
Because
excuse
some
in
of
the
those patches were
world
not very
except
good,
the
and just,
fact you
performance
won't
across the
make
board has
fucking
been,
fun
people have been
games.
unsatisfied with some of that stuff. But like as this guy from Capcom's kind of going through it, like one of the things he cited is just like, hey, PlayStation 5 is really expensive. Like maybe it's too expensive. Like, but in a very Japanese business
Watch
sort of
this
way, not
motherfucker
coming
just
out and
mistreat
saying,
me,
"This is
dude, as I
exactly
try
the
to
problem."
drive across
It's
town.
like, it's a lot of money.
Watch
I
it
don't
do.
know.
Watch. Almost
I don't
got
have
there.
anywhere to
Oh,
go
now
with
it's my
that
own guy.
other than, what the
My
fuck,
own
dude?
guy.
This seems bad.
Oh, my own guy.
Yeah, I mean, more and more
Can I catch this
consoles
car?
just
Can I
seem
catch this
like
car?
a
Oh, you let me catch it.
tough
All
value
right.
proposition. Though I'm
All
sure
right.
I haven't kept up.
How many
particularly
endorphin fucking
close, but I'm
grams
sure
was that
PC
worth, bro?
parts are way more fucking expensive than
Fucking
they were a couple
measure it.
years
Measure it.
ago.
Measure his heart
Yes
rate.
and no. Mostly
Okay.
yes, but
Fuck.
computers.
Seriously, dude.
Some types of computers.
What's he gonna
have
do
exempt
next?
from
What's
the
he gonna
tariff.
do next?
And so you end up in a situation where
Let's
like
put a car
computers and,
here.
like phones.
Oh, what's
as well,
happening?
Like, the iPhone didn't go up in price this year
Right.
because it's already fucking too expensive. But like there are limited exemptions for certain types of machines and certain types of stuff that like consoles are not getting at all. And so PC parts are expensive because they've always been. But like you can still if you're trying to build something that is probably within striking distance of these consoles specifically, then you could do that for a reasonable amount of money. I will not tell you that it will be exactly the same price as a console because I don't think it will be. But the flexibility you get with a PC, I think you do kind of end up
It can't, dude. It's either
something that you can do a little bit more with. And you still have the Steam Deck and stuff. Like some of those things are still like in the $300 range, but some of these other. Like this Lenovo thing that is coming out, they had to cancel
his whole
some
body,
of the pre-orders
dude.
that they were taking because they took too many.
So if I move the
and
mouse
that
at
thing's
all,
like
it's his whole
11,
body.
It's like a handheld PC that is going for laptop prices. At some point, I think becomes a lot less attractive. But we'll see where all that.
Come on, car,
eventually
give me
leads.
some cover.
Nowhere good, I'm sure.
Hey, give me that paper.
Rewards for getting trophies in video games. someone's finally trying it again.
Dude, I can't. Yeah.
It was a good long run there of like
We either have a really
talked
cheap
about it in
mouse
the early days of
or the
Xbox
game is
achievements,
just fucking
where they were
broken,
like,
dude.
oh, we could set up a thing where like if
Because
you
I cannot move
get
my
certain
cursor. My
achievements
reticule,
in this game,
I just,
then maybe
it's
you could
impossible
get
to
it,
move
you know,
at a
you could
small
get
degree.
reward points, or you know, you get money, but you know, like some kind of
It's
reward.
just like the amount of
And then
anxiety
the
I get
Xbox
from just
achievements
trying
were,
to
like,
barely
very
move it
easily
is just
hackable at
off
the
the
time, so
fucking
they never
charts,
really-
dude. Like, I almost need a
they
pill.
never really
That's why I
went
can
there
only
with it
play
in
this
a
game
major
so
way.
long, dude. It sends my fucking
Ghost of
anxiety
Tsushima.
through the roof.
Not Ghost of Yote, which is out real soon here.
Come on.
I believe reviews of that will start.
I hit tab there.
if I'm not
I'm
mistaken.
hitting tab. Okay.
I've got a review. I'm happy with how everything's going with that game.
Great. You're breaking your NDA that you didn't sign. So they are currently doing it with
Can't
Ghost
see.
of Tsushima. They intend to
Can't
roll
see.
out. They're calling them Ghost Rewards.
Barely.
They have Ghost.
Hey, look how much life I have
rewards.PlayStation
left.
From the makers of Ghost Problems comes.
Do you think
You
that's
really
real,
couldn't take a
or was
second
that all
pass
fake?
on that.
No,
Ghost
was that a
rewards
computer
dot PlayStation.com.
algorithm just
You
melting
sign
my
in with your
endorphins,
PlayStation
dude, or
account.
was that
It then
real?
determines if you have the appropriate trophy.
And just a coincidence? I was that
And
close
then
to
if
death.
you do, it will let you buy either a pin that looks like the platinum
Or is
trophy
this thing
in
really
Ghost of
just
Tsushima,
like, it's not even the
or a
graphics
t-shirt
don't
if you
matter. It's
get,
just about getting my heart rate
a
up,
trophy,
getting
a
you
gold
excited.
trophy known as Mono no
Trying to milk
Aware,
you?
which I assume is you beating the game. I don't know.
It'd be
and that they
weird.
will,
that-
you know,
that's the
basically
shit they
have-
talk
you
about.
have to
That's the
earn
shit
these
this
trophies
guy
in Ghost
should
of
be
Tsushima
talking
by the
about
end
that
of
they don't
this
talk
year,
about. They just
and then
keep
you have until
selling
the
new
end of
games.
January to order this merchandise.
The next
because
game. They
they'll
just keep trying to
be
sell you the
doing
next
new
game.
merchandise for Ghost of Yote.
And that the next game is going to make you
Bungie has
happy.
done this a little bit with
The
Destiny,
the next one.
where they were like, if
I know this
yeah,
one.
this
I know that
season, if
last
you really
one.
fucking go
I know.
hard and do all
But
of
no,
this shit
the
and
next
hit
one,
this
dude,
tier of
will
this
love
and do this, then
and
we'll
make
let
you
buy a
happy. I
hoodie.
promise.
And it's not a you are allowed
give
to
up.
buy a hoodie, by the way.
Buy
this
another
pin
one.
is $25. This T-shirt is $30.
Go buy another game.
It's not free. It's not like
You didn't earn it.
well, you
It's
earn
not
the
this.
right to buy it, which is something. I think the T-shirt is kind of cool that that they have made for Ghost of Tsushima, but I would not buy a pin. I'm not a pin.
Yeah,
man.
I just don't understand how we got off the interaction
I
path.
like this idea though, of like tying sort of
The
physical
purpose should be
objects
interaction,
or tying
dude, not
things
puzzle.
to,
I don't know why the
hey,
puzzle
you,
shit just
you beat a
keeps...
game and now you have a thing you can use to show off that is not just a trophy on a profile. You know, it's an actual physical thing. It's a cool idea.
2025, dude, and we're
Yeah.
still playing fucking a
I mean,
2D
that was
side
always the
scroller,
thing
bro.
when achievements
Game
were
of the
first
year,
announced, was
2020
like,
fucking
was there
5,
something-
dude.
Is there
Oh
some
my
way
God.
with, like, Xbox achievements to, like, can we do
Metal Gear
something with
Solid
them
2 was made
eventually?
over
And there
20
was always,
fucking
like,
years ago,
talk
I
like,
think,
yeah,
at this point.
There will probably be something. Maybe you
And
get
they,
a free
these
game
fucking
one
basement
day.
dwellers are talking about a
Well, yeah,
2D fucking
stuff
side
like
scroller being
Microsoft.
game of the year.
Right.
Jesus
Plenty of
They
Christ,
literally,
dude.
like, when they were
Just
first rolling
fucking
that system
shooting
out,
now.
they had concepts.
Right.
They thought that this was going to blossom into something eventually, and then I think once they realized how like trivially, like people were like tools came out that you could get your Xbox profile off of the memory device or off the hard drive or whatever, put it on a PC, edit the shit out of it,
Yep, use your Chromebook
and
real
then
quick.
put
Do
it
your
back
homework.
and
I'll do
then
the
like
dishes.
basically plug it in and get 200,000
I'm sitting there
achievement
bitching
points.
around
If you
here.
did that, you would get banned. If you did it all at once because
I
they
love
would,
you.
they
Sorry
would
to be
figure
so
it
hard
out.
on you.
But it
Just
showed
because
that like
I'm
the sanctity
fucking
of that
mentally
system
ill
was
doesn't
fucked.
mean what
And so
everything I
anything
say-
they wanted to tie to it for a contest
Because I'm
or
crazy
rewards
doesn't
or
mean I'm not
whatever
right.
was automatically
You
going to
know
be
what I mean?
suspect. And so I think they just eventually never pursued any of it. I don't know if it was for those reasons or if it just never materialized or whatever, but like, yeah, it just became
You did?
not a, they did not lock that system down well enough to allow for that.
That crosses the line for me. I'm all for the people who would like play Avatar: The Last Airbender to get 1,000 free points or King Kong or whatever. That's
Yeah.
funny, but you didn't earn those achievements. Shame
Yeah,
on you.
it's like at some point, like it's real silly. Like the very idea of just like I'm gonna go. It was really cool. So when we had that thing in the background that we were using to like track people's achievements on the website,
Trying to play character, dude.
it was really cool
Fuck with
because
me.
I knew the profiles that were doing this. I knew the names of like I had like a list of these are profiles that EA uses for QA purposes. These are profiles that people are
Retro
hacking the shit
game,
out
dude.
of.
Right.
And
Silk
so they've
Song
always
is
got the newest,
literally
latest
a
games on
retro
them. And so if I
game.
knew those profiles, I could feed those into the system. They would get scraped, and we would get achievement lists for games that weren't going to be out for months. And it was kind of it was neat for that reason. But like, I don't know, it's dumb. And then yeah, Ghost of Yotei, they will do some sort of physical reward type thing for that later.
Ghost reward.
Yes, they will do some ghost rewards, which is a great name. Hideo Kojima, you've heard of this guy?
Yeah.
He's at it again.
The guy from GQ, right?
Yep, GQ's OD. HK. They had a live stream. I mean, a Tokyo Game Show is just about to happen, so although some of this stuff is tied to that, but Kojima Productions had an event called Beyond the Strand, where they
It was
wanted
for the 10-year anniversary of Kojima Studios, right? Or something like that.
See, the minute it gets to a game that's not puzzle-based,
I guess it has
he
been
gets
10
fucking
years,
pissy, dude.
Since Phantom Pain, and then
The second anyone puts any
Destiny,
kind of
I guess,
narrative, any
them
kind
getting out
of
of there and starting
literary value,
what a
he
fucking
gets
mess.
fucking pissy.
And
He
it
just
took until
wants to
now
run
for
dungeons and watch the numbers roll, dude.
Konami to
That's
actually
it.
release
That's
a Metal
it. He
Gear
doesn't
game
give a
that people
fuck
might
about
want to play.
trend. He doesn't
and
give
it's
a
still a
fuck
remake.
about story.
Meanwhile,
He just wants to see the ping
Kojima
pong
Productions
machine or
has
what?
hell
A
of
pinball.
games in development.
He's a fucking
They showed,
pinball
a
wizard,
couple
bro.
of these games, Death Stranding 2 obviously is out in the world, and people played it and are done talking about it, I guess. But now they showed a trailer for OD, which was always rumored to be short for Overdose, but that is the horror game that Xbox will be publishing.
I like flashy lights. I like you the bright lights.
Which
Me likey bright lights.
hopefully they compile their
You
shaders
flashy
at
bright lights
launch
in my
instead of
eyes,
during game, I guess. I don't know.
Making me feel good.
And they showed a trailer for OD, which they were referring to as the Knock
rat in a
teaser.
fucking cage,
And
bro.
they also showed a little touch
Literally.
of Fizz-Int, which is PlayStation's
show me what I
game
do,
that they are
Simon
making.
says. Simon
For
says.
physical intelligence.
You give me
they showed a
flashy
poster
light. Polly
and
wants a fucking
announced some cast
cracker.
members
Polly wants a
for
fucking
that
cracker.
game.
Jesus
Not-
Christ.
Not much. Who do I got?
What happens when
According
no
to
one's
Video
there
Games
to make the
Chronicle,
game
Charlie
anymore,
Frazier.
dude?
That's CHARLEE.
Always
Okay.
a player, never a
Don
fucking master.
Lee?
Jesus.
DON.
Always a player. That's okay.
Okay.
We
Oh.
give you
And-
flashy lights.
Minami
We give you riddle. We give you
Hamabe.
puzzle.
It's spelled just like the
You be
normal way
happy.
from Minami.
We give you maze. We build maze.
Yeah,
Make you
I
happy.
felt bad. So I saw the poster,
Fuck,
like,
yeah.
like a kind of movie poster style
Right.
thing for it, and I felt bad because all
And
those
you be
people
happy.
were like, "Oh my god, it's back! Metal Gear back! Like it's oh, it looks like Metal Gear, Metal Gear Physics." I feel bad that
We
like
kick you cracker.
it doesn't even really. It's like
Polly,
a person
get
in a coat,
cracker. Don't worry,
Yeah,
Polly.
you know, a
Get
person
your
in a big
cracker.
jacket. I feel so bad for Kojima, who's never going to escape that.
Fuck, dude.
Like,
Fucking
I mean,
grown.
Fizz-Int feels very like with the initial announcement of it, and the idea of like, oh, we're gonna do this, espionage thing or whatever. Like the announcement was very much like, okay, fine, we'll make we'll make one of these.
yeah, but like knowing I'm sure Kojima doesn't want to.
I feel so
I
bad
wouldn't
for
be surprised
Kojima because
if people go into that hoping for a Metal Gear style game and find something completely different.
I would hope. I mean, I would hope so.
Yeah.
Like if this is just like a drop-in replacement cast for the next Metal Gear game, and it just plays like those, that'll be. Well, I mean, if it plays like Phantom Pain, that's exciting in one sense. In so far
yeah,
as
let's
I
see.
enjoyed playing some of that game.
Let's see the negative spin. Come on. Come on.
But I hope it is dramatically different.
Oh, now we want different.
You know.
Whoa. Shit. So you wanted Metal Gear. Death Stranding was too different.
To that stuff. Like those games exist, and people like they're bigger than anything. You know, that just in terms of people's opinions about which Metal Gear games are the good ones. And eventually, I mean, Konami has said that they hope to get back in the Metal Gear business with a new game before too long here. I'm hoping for Metal Gear Survive 2, obviously, because they did such a bang-up job with that one. That I'd love to see them take another crack at that. I mean, maybe the fences could be twice as high, the zombies could be twice as fast. You know, poking zombies with a stick through a chain link fence is a timeless tradition and an art.
Yeah, so, and it's what I think of when I think of Metal Gear.
Exactly. Yeah. Some people are like, no, it's about cardboard boxes and plugging your controller into port 2. And I put it to you, no, it is about chain link fences and stabbing zombies with a sharp stick.
Do you think they'll do a MGS4 remake?
I think they'll have to eventually. Like it's you know, like the visuals of that game are not so far gone that they would have to rebuild it from the ground up, right? Like doing Metal Gear Solid 1 at this point would be a very difficult game to remaster.
Right, you'd basically be remaking it entirely.
Yeah. Unless you're going to go and take Twin Snakes and go, all right, Dennis Dyack, you were right. We're putting that game back out, which I would
commentary is required to make it transformative.
Take that shortcut someday.
I'm a fucking retard.
But like, yeah, I think MGS4, those characters still look reasonably modern. You know, the same way with 3. You know, like you can take those PlayStation 2 games and you know do some work to them and not have to completely rebuild them from scratch. And 4 is still the one that is the most trapped on its original platform. And so, yeah, I think there's a real need. And speaking as someone who like enjoyed MGS4, I hope that they do that at some point.
Me too.
Okay, dude, that's pretty good.
But that would not be a remake. I think that would be a much like.
See, the kid is God, basically. Elliot and E.T.
The range.
The kid is God.
Operate,
even though he doesn't know
that would
it.
Make everyone happy. And
is the image of God.
Yes, it's something everyone really has. So universally love and not pick apart and be.
God's trying to get the alien back home.
Down, whatever. A lot of people really love Delta. A lot of people are really happy that it's back out there.
Back into hell.
God's definitely an undercurrent of like
trying to get that fucking xenomorph back into hell where it belongs.
To fabricate the
where it wants to be, dude. That's what it was made for.
You fuck this up, or you know whatever.
It fucking loves it, bro. It loves it,
especially about Metal Gear.
Right.
No one can be normal about Metal Gear. It's impossible after all these years.
And I think it's maybe impossible to recapture the soul of it without Kojima around, right? Like, even though the game is made already, like remaking those games. Say what you will about those games, but they are a work of a singular creative vision, right? Like,
yes, baby.
Tons of developers, tons of different people worked on those games and made those games a reality. But like Megalopolis was a movie that sucked ass, but you were like, one guy was the reason this was made and the reason these decisions were made.
There's a maniac here that made these choices, and they're not always you would not always pick them as the right choices, but it's cool that someone got to make these choices. Yeah,
that it wasn't made by a fucking committee.
Exactly.
Right?
Without that person,
that it wasn't made by a committee.
Create something beat by beat, brick by brick, you know, pixel by pixel.
That wasn't made for like the most possible. Yeah, dude.
Like, without a person there.
What's that algorithm? That it wasn't made by an algorithm.
First time, you know, I don't know.
Yes, I'm coming.
Something looks different when it's up-res, when you remake it. Like they might have made a creative decision to be like, well, can we actually do this and this and this? Like, I totally buy that you could never recapture the original feel of those games. If not, you can recapture like the original.
Mess around.
Feel of how it plays or the visuals of how it looks, but there's like a secret sauce missing. I totally buy that. I'm not like a Metal Gear diehard, but like I could totally buy that.
It's a weird case where like there's probably a way that they could make a Metal Gear Solid 3 that I would enjoy, but they would have to sand off so many of the edges of that game to get there and rebuild so many of the systems that it would not be the same game anymore. Like, and that's fine. Like I am okay not liking MGS3. Like Delta coming out was like my last, like, okay, I'm going to give this a try, and maybe this will be the time that it finally sticks. And I played it for a while, and I was like, nope, I still fucking hate all of these systems and the way I have to interact with them, and I don't care about this. Like, it's all the same characters, but they're different ones because it's older now. But they just look the same because that's fun, right? Like, there's something about that trope. Specifically, the way Metal Gear deploys it in that sense, and the way they have done the big boss clone stuff, but then also the world around it. And I'm just like, this feels too. You've gotten too far away from the things I like about Metal Gear with that thing. Yeah. So I don't know. I would be curious to see what they do with a new Metal Gear game, because I feel like that just sounds sad to me in a weird way. Like, I get why you do it. It's too popular of a franchise to leave dormant forever. And if Konami is seriously interested in being in the video game business, eventually they probably need to tackle this one way or the other. And I'm sure that when they do it, it would sell fine.
Wasn't there supposed to be a movie?
Yeah. I mean, yes, multiple times I feel like that the rights of that have come and gone. I don't
How do you make Metal Gear into a movie, dude? It's a game. It's a game. It's interactive.
Has the rights to it, or what the deal is.
A non-interactive Metal Gear. When
trapped in some sort of
be a Metal Gear, I don't know. He does lots of cutscenes.
Being made by AI, which would be very on brand, I think, for
Patriots.
Yes. The Lolly Lule Low is going to make that game, that movie, and the game too. They decided that the fences should be twice as high because it's more fun to poke taller zombies.
The stick is less sharp, though, because they found out they can actually get more player time.
Yeah. But, like, what would you even do? I feel like, like a Metal Gear game
finish the dishes
without the leadership behind all of the games that mattered in that franchise. And it's, certainly with Survive, and of course with the NES versions of Metal Gear that came out, like, they have made Metal Gear games without Kojima being on board. But that's a different thing now than it was then, for sure. And I it's not like you couldn't do it. Like, what is it? It's an espionage game with some stealth stuff, and it's anime as fuck, right? I mean. Yeah. But I think there's such a careful balance to all of that I think would be hard to get right. And I think, like, one of the things I've come to really appreciate about Metal Gear over the years, because you don't hear enough about this type of behavior anymore, is that they were sickos about it.
Yeah.
They were like, okay, we're making the next Metal Gear game, and so a group of us are going to go to Los Angeles for like 2 months, and we're just going to shoot guns. Like, they did that. They were like, okay, we're going to go look at CQC training, and we're going to see what this looks like up close, and have people walk us through the specifics of the. Like, could you make the game without doing that? Obviously, of course.
Yeah.
But they're sickos.
Kojima's still doing that with, like, they talked about going to, like, like, they talked about going to America and just walking around.
Yeah. Like, yeah, you don't need to do that to make Death Stranding. In fact, I would be hard pressed to find a someone who does not care for Death Stranding. Maybe you should have just kept walking.
And then we go into a fucking menu, Commander.
Maybe you should have been shooting some guns while you were walking.
Exactly. Yeah, this is America. You can do both. But yeah, I don't know. Like, I appreciate that level of like fucking silly ass shit.
Let's do
of just like the way games, when Capcom was putting out like Onimusha 2 or something, and their big selling point to the press was, we are mocapping a horse. Like, that was their big, that was their big selling point to the press with that game. Was like, we put a horse. Yeah, Jean Reno, of course, but also, motherfucker, we mocapped a fucking horse.
Did they include photos of the horse in like a mocap suit?
I don't know what they ever released of that.
It turns out it was just Benedict Cumberbatch pretending to be a horse.
Yeah, before he was famous. Yeah, it was one of his first leading roles alongside Jean Reno. But there's just a lot of like crazy shit like that I always appreciated. Like, car games still do. There are not enough of them anymore, but all the stories about like, oh, well, Polyphony Digital was here putting microphones under cars for like a month to get the exhaust notes just right, and to do, and your similar stories about the Forza teams, doing all of that, and like, oh, we need to model the undercarriage of these vehicles, even though the license holders won't let us flip them, because that's too damaging to their brand or whatever. Like, we still want to get it right. Like, there's just a lot of fucking fascinating shit for that. Yeah, Fat Pimp on the Discord has posted a link to a video of the horse being mocapped. 22 points of capture per rider and 30 per horse. It's a LinkedIn post, which is even weirder. LinkedIn, your home for horse mocap. I'm happy that this studio is going to make more than just Death Stranding.
They're different kind of gamers.
I'm not a big horror guy to begin with, so OD doesn't really. I don't really find that appealing. Like, people are like, oh, finally PT will exist. So, like, even that game has like these weird expectations because of an unshipped game. It's not just like that Fizzint has to be Metal Gear. It's now OD has all of these years of weird pent up anticipation based on whatever PT was going to turn into the Silent Hill game that never was, or whatever. He's taking on the most anticipated projects 2 at a time here.
But then he's a gamer too. You have to respect that's what he likes. So yeah, he's a slot player.
All that said,
so you can't
I don't much care for either of the Death Stranding games. So hopefully these will be something more interesting, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I feel like Death Stranding was getting something out of his system.
Yeah, maybe.
Like, in a lot of ways, it is far away from Metal Gear, right? It is.
Yeah.
But it still has the like deep contemplative nature of the game, but it is about being solitary and kind of like, walking around, right? Like, it's not about shooting guns. It's not about like
2 is a lot more about shooting guns than 1 was, or at least it is a more viable approach. But yes, you're right that it is this kind of. I mean, they put it all in the marketing for Death Stranding 2. It was just like, should we have connected, and more kind of ruminations on like.
So they're like
motherhood this time around, I think, is where they went with it. But,
what was that steampunk movie? Where he's like flying
well, see, in the early parts of the game, you leave the baby
fucking levers and dials.
Yeah, this whole thing.
Steam coming out everywhere.
They're getting ready to show more of Call of Duty Black Ops 7. They put out a trailer and a list of like they put out a list and screenshots of maps, which is like it's a weirdly detailed post. That shows the 16 multiplayer maps plus 2 large-scale 20v20 skirmish maps that they will be launching with along with like the kind of multiplayer configuration of building your loadout and perks and all of this stuff. There was a couple of things in this that stuck out at me that I found interesting from a like changes they are making. To how Call of Duty has become in these last handful of years. They used to have 2 levels of sprinting in Call of Duty over the past few years. You can click the stick, so you could click the stick once to run, and you could run as much as you wanted to, generally speaking. If you double clicked it, you would go into what they call a tactical sprint, which is faster but is limited and would expire.
Just for looking so good.
Okay. And so I became very much into just double clicking that the minute I spawn and running forward as fast as I can and getting killed over and over again, but getting some kills along the way. They're taking that out of the default
from your mother?
Tool set. It will still be there that you can, like, if you want to configure your class in that way, you can enable tactical sprint through your perks and loadouts and whatever else.
Yeah, you can.
But it is no longer going to be a default thing, which it's a dumb thing but like as I was skimming this post yesterday and going like, is there anything interesting in here? I got to the point where they're like, we're taking out tac sprint. and I am like out loud went,
I'm
"Whoa!"
sitting here arguing.
So I don't know what the fuck that says about me.
No way.
But yeah, it was like that was my reaction to it. Like, oh
I'm an
my
old
god,
man yelling at
what are they
TV.
doing?
Do you hear me? I know I'm doing it.
So I don't know.
That
That's
makes it okay, right?
to me that is an interesting change.
What? What's up? No.
They're also adding
Oh,
wall
yes, it
jumps.
does. No, it doesn't.
I think that was
Totally
this year's
does.
game is going. This year's game is set in the near future.
God can
It
hear
is a
me.
direct sequel to Black Ops 2, which is a game that was set in
God can hear
the
me.
future, or I mean, what is
It's
now?
like
I think it was set in
Confession.
2025
It's like
or 2035.
Confession.
But
It's
anyway,
different when you
but
say
it
it
is
out
set in the
loud.
near future when you can wall jump. I mean, we're minutes away from uncovering that technology here on planet Earth.
I've been working on it.
But basically, what they're saying is that you will be able to string together a series of jumps off of walls, which it doesn't sound like a wall run, which the upper limits of movement in Call of Duty, the last time they tried to get all fancy and futuristic, was a wall run that I thought always felt like shit, especially compared to Titanfall, which was fucking awesome.
Wheels were made for carting my
Like their wall run, I thought always felt like garbage. So they're not doing a wall run, but it looks like they are doing a wall jump that you can string together a couple of times, which sounds like a jump, tap wall, push off of wall to the other wall, tap wall, bop, bop, bop kind of thing.
So like you could like kind of just keep bounding.
3 is the upper limit,
Wow.
I think, on that. And so it sounds like they'll probably have some maps that are, they'll have to build maps around the idea of you doing multiple wall jumps and all of that stuff. That sounds like a potentially interesting mechanic.
Hey, you need to get off that couch.
But that one is so dependent on the maps
doing
and
over
where
there?
you do it and how often you do it and everything else that it's sort of
TV
like,
goes off
you
in
know,
1 minute,
you're not going to
kid.
do it everywhere. Because you're not going to be able to chain them together everywhere. You can
Find
always
something
jump
to
off
do.
a wall if you're near a wall, I guess. But
Right. Just like real life.
yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't know. Like, I've seen enough parkour videos of people doing weird
do
shit that
Play-Doh?
you just look at. That guy jumped. That guy put a foot on that
Yeah,
wall
I'm
and
done
jumped
playing
off
on
it.
a minute.
This is fucked. What are they doing?
You gotta
France,
wait.
man.
Hold
What are
on,
they?
I'm not ready
What
for
the
you.
fuck is going on?
Now you have to be
Not
ready
ready
for
for you yet.
the revolution that might come
You're
at any
French.
moment.
What the fuck is going on?
It's the deep history of revolution, right? You have to keep your mind
Okay.
sharp and you have to keep your body sharp to rebel at any given moment. So you can like vault up the palace and into the
Hate you.
throne room
I see.
to
I hate
take
you.
on the queen.
That
who
makes
has
sense.
I hate
like
everybody.
3 forms, so it's a whole
Ah!
other thing.
Because
That
I
makes
hate
sense.
myself. Ah!
They
Help
are
me.
next week. They're going to have the annual
Help
event
me.
that they have referred to as Call of Duty Next,
I'm full
which
of
is I think where they
self-loathing
invite a
and
bunch of
self-hate.
streamers to get in a room and
Help.
act real excited while they're playing the multiplayer, and then the multiplayer beta will start shortly after that for people who, I guess, have access to that. I assume it's a
I heard
pre-order
Dylan
thing.
Efron will be in attendance this year instead of Zach.
Let's hope.
It better pick up
Let's
around
hope.
here soon.
EA had Zac Efron. That was for a Battlefield game, I think.
That was Battlefield. I see in my
Yeah.
head it was always Call of Duty. So
Yeah.
You know that
I'll work
was
on that
made to pick me
apology.
up.
Yeah. If you just add that to the list.
Easier to hear me if I was sitting on your face.
Good news. The rights to the Sonic the Hedgehog song
right,
Live and
bud,
Learn
so
still
put some
remain in some
dishes
kind
away,
of limbo,
please.
which is holding it back from making quite as many appearances as it would make otherwise. This is the singer of the song. This has been kind of locked up in weird kind of rights issues with no one kind of asserting it fully over the years. But the singer for Crush 40, Johnny Gioeli, had to give some quotes here. He said, basically like there was a case, there was a court case about those songs being used without him being compensated because he claims that he has the rights to the recording. It says that Sega has the rights to the lyrics, but not the master recording musical composition. This is according to Eurogamer. And that Sega had used the song in a bunch of TV shows and games and stuff over the years. Live and Learn is I think on like a relatively short list of songs from an era of Sonic the Hedgehog that kind of stuck out and were popular. There is a Sonic
No, he
Escape from the
literally
City.
came from
That to me is the
underground.
only Like if there was a song from Sonic that had lyrics in it, meaning anything past like Sonic 2 or 3 that we had to talk about, it would be Escape from the City. That is, to me, the definitive Sonic the Hedgehog song from that era. It is terrible, but I love it. As opposed to Live and Learn, which is merely just terrible.
They've scarred
It's disgusting. The song is
The only people that
You
don't.
were there in the pop punk trenches.
Yeah, I mean, like Sentinels.
You heard
They
me.
scarred our genetics.
Green Day played my high
Maybe
school.
not our genetics, but it take a while for that shit to get out of us.
Yeah, but they
Our babies are
started
being
there,
born with
man.
microplastics in their body.
And it's in the environment, so it'll take a while for that shit to
So I
go.
guess like where this kind of comes out is that Sonic is supposedly appearing in
Until they find that
Fortnite
shit
at some
underground
point here.
again, Joseph, in
This is
hell.
a quote from the singer.
I'm
It
not
says, just 2
kidding,
weeks ago,
dude.
I was contacted by
I
Epic
really
Games
do
to
think we
potentially
have a
use Live and
window of
Learn.
hell here.
And the amazing part is Sega had them call me for the rights to use the song. So there you have it. The most epic song remains in the abyss of ownership.
I just gotta say this really quick. This is maybe for you and nobody else. I saw within the last year.
Oh,
saw a
no,
show at the
that-
Phoenix Theater, and
Yeah.
it was the oldest I've
been to
ever
some more,
felt
you
in
know
my
that.
life.
Wow.
Because it was like all like
Good.
kids.
I mean, yeah.
And
That's the first thing.
the half pipe was still there. Like it was still. It was like it was the same, but I had very obviously changed. It really made me feel.
And he started believing it
A
because of the
band
math.
that I was never
But,
in,
like, I didn't
but
realize
did
that
a
because they
song
believe in
with.
that internal, always
And like helped
existed,
them
always will
like write a
exist.
couple of verses and some
And I
other
was just raised
silly
thinking
shit.
of it
They
linear, you know what I
played
mean?
like a reunion
Like our
show at
religion
the
almost.
Phoenix last
That's
week.
because they had this big thing.
And
It's like
this
that
dude,
was
this friend of mine
free.
who
It
I,
makes
you know,
sense.
he ran for mayor of Petaluma a few times.
Well, that too, and then he thinks linear.
As you do.
Of you, Abraham.
Like he was texting me like, "Oh, you gotta come back up, man. You got." And I was like, "Get the kids." I'm like, "No, there's no get the kids and come to Petaluma for like, especially the week that school is starting." I was like, "Dude, I can't." I absolutely. And the Rapture, yeah, I've got to. What am I gonna wear? Am I gonna get raptured in a Mr. Do T-shirt? Yes. If
It's
I
what
am
you would've
raptured at
wanted.
all, it will be in a Mr. Or maybe this
Yeah,
will
I
be the
guess
thing
the
that holds me
Rapture
back. I don't know.
supposed to be yesterday.
But yes, I
sad.
still have. He sent me footage
They
of what
halfway
they did in
mentioned
my
it, but
stead,
they
and
were
I
making
haven't
fun
watched
so
it
much, I
yet.
couldn't
But
really-
that was
No,
a
but there was
weird.
actual. I saw
I
videos
went
from
back
people,
because
like,
they
I already
did a
sold all my
reunion
possessions. Look, here's
show.
my car getting towed right now. I don't need
I
any
think
of it.
another 10 years prior
makes
to
a lot
this
of
that I
that.
was at because I was
Same
still
way.
living up
Made
there,
it look a lot
and
bigger
so
than
the
it
idea
really
that they're
was.
doing another one. And it was like none of the like the time when I was around that band was mostly different people, and so I was like, who do you even have in it? I was like, well, is Chris going? Is Chris gonna do it? He's like, I can't go, but like if he was there, I'd be 5% more likely. Like no,
It's called like a great
all right, well fuck up.
or something. The guy predicted
But yeah, it was just a very silly. Yeah, I've been in multiple. I've been in or associated with multiple bands that have had reunion shows at the Phoenix, and have played in one of them, and it's a very weird.
There's a core group that survived.
Yeah, it's great that the Phoenix Theater still exists.
Yeah.
there's a lot of history there, and you know, and kids. I especially living in Southern California, where I don't like the town I'm in now doesn't really have this.
You can't
Like it has something for kids to do. Like the Phoenix is something for kids to do.
A third
you know.
space.
Yeah. It ideally inspires them to maybe start a band and learn about music and fuck around and have a good time.
It's like
And
2012.
I wonder,
that's
like when my
been
kids get
changed.
to be teens or
Where,
whatever,
like,
what the fuck will they even
oh, well,
do?
they didn't mean
And I
it
think
was
the answer
gonna end.
increasingly is they will like play
meant it was
Roblox
the
while on
start of a
voice chat with
transition.
friends.
Yeah.
Seeing other parents that have
I think
teens
with
and
that
seeing
big
what they
mind
do,
calendar,
that is what they do.
It's
They
They
always
play
get
Roblox
something
with each
to
other,
do.
and they're on a voice chat separately.
Yeah,
No,
man.
you
so,
could
like,
argue though the wheel
with
system,
kids,
because
yeah.
it's literally
and,
like a wheel within
you
a
know,
wheel
once in
within
a
another
while,
wheel,
like,
and that's how their calendar works
I
by
teach
sliding
coding,
those.
so
And it
kids
may be
who are
there's a finite
learning
number
like web
in that
development
system.
it'll be like
That might
here's a
be
project
more-
make a wiki
far enough
about
where when you
anything.
get all
Yes,
the way from
yeah.
And
whenever they
it's
made
like,
that year,
someone should do that.
2012, it just restarts a new.
Like
and it's
No,
like-
that's their
75%
deal.
of
The
them are about video
calendar.
games,
That's the
and
end
then-
of the calendar. Now it starts.
80 to 90% of those are
events,
about
sightings,
Roblox,
gonna happen
or
all over
more
again.
likely specific
So,
Roblox.
And that's the
games.
start
It's
of the next
wild.
calendar cycle.
I've
But
made
the
a
big
Steal a
cycle
Brain Rot
will be
wiki.
on. So But they
I
would
know
say,
so
like
much about
into the
Rogue
world.
Garden. I know about all these games.
But
have
that
not
could
having
make,
touched
they're even
any
saying
of
that
them,
could
and
still
I'm
make
like,
VR.
oh, this is
Are
like
we
this
not
other
in the
game.
period of
They'll look at me like
transformation?
I'm speaking a foreign language.
But yeah, it definitely seems like the end of one age, the start of another.
So
It's either
there's
the
an
start of
increasing
a
number
new
of
age,
game
or it's
developers
the
and people
collapse
in
of
the
the
business
modern
side
age, and we're
of
going back
gaming,
to
of course, that I
the
think
dark
are
age.
really,
Hello?
They're going to
I
make
mean,
their
increasingly
religions
worried
law,
about that
Joseph.
actual subject. About like
And there'll
what,
be no
are these
reason.
kids going to graduate from Roblox into buying video games from other companies, or are they just going to like age out of it and go do something else?
Just like
and
Metal Gear, bro. Big Boss is going to make law.
Like, I don't know,
The
they
big
built a really
boss is
popular
gonna
thing,
make
so
the
I can't
rules,
like,
dude.
I can't purely fault
Just like
Roblox
in the
for
good
that.
old
There's plenty
days.
to fault Roblox for around kid safety and all that stuff. Like they're being sued, and there's stuff happening around Roblox that is obviously very nasty. But like just from a pure like, there's a generation of players that are being completely lifted out of the video game industry because they're all trapped inside the Roblox casino, and they either don't know how to or don't want to get out.
Right.
And
I'm
what does
telling
that
you,
mean
this
for
is
the
your
future of
last
video
day.
games? It's fucking crazy.
my
They
last
treat it
day.
almost like a social media platform. It's like it's where their friends are. Is Roblox.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's a video game is like, yeah, we can play the game, but like, it is the place to hang out. It's not anything else.
Right. Yeah. And so there's just increasing amount of worry, I think, around that, about like what does that mean for console sales in a general, like as the average age of consoles goes up and as the price of consoles gets completely out of reach for that age group to begin with, like there's just a lot of fucking
like the idea of spending money on a video game when you spent the last 6 years playing Roblox, and like there's stuff you can buy in that, but I'm sure plenty of kids don't.
But yeah, somehow you got to find out.
Or
to be
they ask
done
their
with
parents
it
for money
without
and then
the
immediately
hate.
blow it
You can't
on like
hate it.
fucking absolute
Can't hate
garbage.
On
Like
an
I
S-tier
spent all this so that I
brain
could
rot.
steal a plant from so I could steal
So
an
I
extra
could
brain
get
rot.
a
What are you doing?
That's
why he's stuck here.
Trollolo, tralala.
What's the big slang with the kids?
Like
You're
finishing a good
teaching
game.
like
Well,
middle schoolers, right?
I do have to say it's No Slang September, so I can't.
No, run down all the slang for me. Run what?
You see, I'd have to put money in the slang jar. I'd have to. Okay. Well, okay. So I mean, like honestly, it feels like it's not evolving that much. There's still, I mean, kids will just say "bruh" all the time.
Yeah.
I shouldn't do that right into the mic. It's probably a really unpleasant noise to hear.
Well, I mean, it's primarily an audio show, so if you don't, then people won't know what you're doing. So I think it works out. My daughter brought bruh home from school. She's in the first grade. And my son started saying it, and just everything became bruh. And literally, it was just like, that's so bruh. They said that to me after I did a thing, and I was like, man, this is crazy.
6'7"? Have you heard 6'7"?
Yeah.
That was my religion.
That's big. But like, we're kind of reaching a point in.
I'm not going anywhere.
We're reaching a point where like.
My line, my name,
back when memes were a new concept, a meme would last for months to a year, right? Like, bad luck Brian would be on everyone's mind for a fucking year.
Yeah,
or whatever.
Here you can stay my home. That was like a good year.
Yeah. Now it's like you hear about Labubu, and then a week later. It's jokes about how people don't talk about Labubu anymore, right? So like it's like there's no room for things to breathe, and it's like commentary on the actual thing.
Give your child to another man.
Itself. Like brain rot is a term that's relatively new and used to mean one specific thing, but now kind of is an umbrella term for like.
Yeah, that was my life, dude. That was the life I was given when I was.
And so I'm interested if there will be sort of this like rebuking of just like communicating through memes, because like for a good 10 years, like kids would just
that's the world I was given, bro.
It was like slang, like right? It was their own language. They treated it.
There was a time when no one called anything tight.
Yeah.
There was a time when no one referred to anything as dope in a wide mainstream sense. Like it was just like it formed in hip hop, became a thing there, and then eventually bled out. But as it was bleeding out, there were people going like, what? No, I'm not. Dope is bad, right? No, what? Hang on. And tight and sick. Those
were
baby,
turn
that
TV
came
off.
into being after I was,
I was already out of high school.
by the time people started saying tight or sick. And so
and
those
sometimes
were,
it was regional. Like I feel like tight and sick were almost more of a West Coast thing than.
Yeah, probably.
But now with the internet, there is no regional language like that anymore.
And
I remember
Fred in the chat is asking if someone can explain 6'7" as he is nearly 40. It's a song lyric. It's a sample from a song. And so they're just reciting, they're just like shouting out a sample from a song. It's not.
And it's something that would come up enough in unrelated things that you could be like, oh, it's like the meme. And then it just grows.
And so
like that.
as 6'7" comes up in other stuff, it's a sample from a basketball announcer, or is it like it's LeVar Ball's dad?
Are they talking about
someone
6'7"?
Like I think it is in context. It's talking about someone who is 6'7", but the name of the song is. No, the name of the song is like it's like Whoop Whoop 6'7" or something. Anyway, whatever. I listened to the song a couple times. I was like, nah.
I remember the first time I heard my mom say bling, bling, bling.
Yeah,
and I remember I was just like, ooh, like that's what? No, it's like, and so it's dead now because an old person knows what it is, and like. That was like probably after a year or plus of me hearing that, knowing what it is, knowing bling bling and all of that.
So I really hated when bling bling first came around because it was attached to like the Dirty South rap stuff that was coming up big at the time. All the Cash Money guys and Lil Wayne and all these guys that I just like. I looked at them as someone who was a gatekeepery fan of hip hop because naturally. Like as that stuff was coming out, I was like, this is fucking terrible. Like all this shit sucks. Like and as Bling Bling caught on and a lot of those songs caught on, it was very distressing for a brief period of time. Of just like, they're ruining hip hop. They're fucking it all up. And then I think I said this a couple of weeks ago. Like then I started drinking more and hanging out in bars as I became 21, 22, 23. And I was like, this is fine. I get it. In context of like, no, we're hanging out. Like this is a social setting, and this song came on, and everybody is happy because it's just like a throwaway whatever song. It's like okay, like that kind of dialed it in for me, in a sense. I think it's it's funny because I feel like every generation says they're not going to be like their parents, and they're going to be like, I'm not going to like shit talk the kids for having their own thing. And then the minute the kids get their own thing, suddenly it's like this drastic, like this is the dumbest it's ever been. These kids these kids don't know what they're just shouting nonsense over and over again. And it's like I don't know, man. Like the 6'7" thing is just it's just someone shouting a thing from a song. Like popular songs come and go all the time.
Dude, I saw a clip on Instagram the other day from The Floor. Do you know what The Floor is?
No,
like it's a game show hosted by I think Rob Lowe.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, I did see an ad for that and went and just. Shook my head and said, "Fuck this."
And as far as I could tell, the entire game that they were playing, like I'm sure it's made up of a lot of little games. The round was two players taking turns, trying to name the food. And so it was like a picture of like chicken wings, and you'd be like, chicken wings, ding. And then it'd be a picture of like donuts, and you'd go, donuts, ding. And then it was like, falafel.
Was it a race? Did you have to say donuts before the other person, or it was just back and forth?
6'7".
And literally, I'm like,
go ask your brother.
I don't ever want to hear a boomer complain about brain rot because this is what you're watching on TV. Like this is what, I'm obviously I don't have like cable, so I'm not like tuned in to what like I watch. A show that was on HBO or whatever.
You only watch hardcore pornography. I get it.
I only watch hardcore pornography. Get that softcore shit out of here. Like, I can look in a mirror for
Cinemax
softcore
is
pornography.
For cops.
Yeah. But like literally, like this is, I'm sure, one of the top 10 most popular shows on TV.
Yeah, probably. That's
Crab Rangoon. Ding.
I don't know that I would get Crab Rangoon. I don't know that I could identify Crab Rangoon on site. To be honest,
I was surprised. There was like two. I was like, I that's what a hush puppy looks like. Okay, yeah, I'm not from the South. I wouldn't have gotten. And then I was like, caught myself being like, why am I like playing along?
Yeah, that sounds real stupid. That sounds real stupid. But yeah, I don't know, man. Like the way people, it was specifically, I think, Skibbity Toilet was the thing that like broke a lot of brains.
What are we gonna play?
Because when that became popular, you saw a lot of like older, especially like.
Yeah.
You know, millennials, like people who had their own dumb fucking memes that were like the stupidest shit. Yeah. Yeah. You know, like post YouTube poop. Are you really going to like, you know, post like all the machinima and shit that came along? Are you really going to look at something made in Source Filmmaker and go like, this is fucking, what are these kids talking about? Like, what are you fucking talking about? You dipshits liked red versus blue, you morons. You have no fucking taste.
All you're allowed to do as a parent is look at it and go, huh.
Right. Yeah.
And then move on.
Yeah. I that's kind of how I looked at it. It was just like, you know, the kids are going to have their shit.
You don't have to get it. We're not saying you have to like love it.
No,
you're like, okay, this is some kid shit. That even in 2 years they'll look back and be like, that was weird. I don't know why I liked that.
Right? Yeah, you have to assume that this stuff is always shifting. I mean, you know, like 6, 7 is obviously like newer than any kind of skibbity toilet, any kind of like the original roots of the brain rot stuff, Ohio and all of that, you know. But
Ohio.
Like I said, I think I said it a few weeks ago, you know, like
Take me
there were
back
people
to
who said
Ohio.
gag me with a spoon, and they meant it. So
Let
you know,
me dance with the girls I used to know.
I don't have a jar here. I'm like
before the evil one came up from down below.
Me and my friends started doing it. We like saw a reel about like No Slang September. And we're like, oh, that would be fun to like challenge ourselves, and then it like devolved into us just speaking old timey. Because we're like, that's how you can get around accidentally saying slang, and that lasted for like a week.
Yeah.
The idea was we were gonna all put a coin in the jar, and whenever we did a slang, but then like compile all the money and buy a nice gift for our moms.
Plato says,
but I have like
$4.
What?
Like, what are you gonna do?
Huh? Who?
Oh man. So like, where's the limit? Like, if you said bro, not bruh.
Now you're talking crazy.
You said, hey bro. Like,
if
that's
you're talking to your brother, that's fine.
Okay.
Jose, do you want to play?
I got you.
But like, I was a hardliner to the point where I was like, contractions are slang.
No way. You want to play with me?
Like, you can't even. You must say
I don't
knock.
think so.
And it's hard when you're playing a video game because you're saying like, oh, he's ganking me. Well, that's slang. Like, you know, there's just it was a lot of more discussion of what slang is than the actual slang usage, and then I think that's why we got tired of it. We were tired of keeping track of
play with me.
That sounds like something
if you have a list. Yeah, if you have a list of like 30 things you can't say, like, okay, great.
That you can get away with. Last thing in the news here, we talked about it last week, so I just wanted to wrap back around. There was talk that Battlefield 6 was going to have a cross-play toggle that merely excluded PC players so that PlayStation and Xbox players could still play together. Turns out that was wrong. That came out of an IGN interview with senior combat designer Matthew Nickerson, who said that, but that is wrong. EA gave a comment to Dexerto.
Finish the kitchen. I'm almost there.
The crossplay the crossplay toggle will work how you think it does. It will turn off all crossplay. It will not allow consoles to continue to play together. So they gave some quotes about like, we care about cheating and all this other stuff, which, you know, is like ostensibly the reason why people turn off crossplay is because they're convinced that all the PC players are cheaters, and the only way to get away from the cheaters is to turn off crossplay.
That's right.
That if you turn off
PC
crossplay, you're a fucking coward, personally. But you know, you do you. That game will be out October 10th, and now that's my correction for the day. Is that those details?
In, baby.
Yeah, go ahead and I'll hold this space for you if you'd like to make a formal apology.
Play with the big boys.
You smell bloody raw.
No,
come on.
Okay. Why don't we get into some emails?
Oh, can I ask really quick? Are people still mad about skill-based matchmaking?
Always.
Is that still a discussion?
Always. Anything, you know, like, especially a topic like that where the only people egging it on are popular streamers who want to stream themselves murdering everyone in their lobby.
Right.
Those are the loudest people to complain about skill-based matchmaking. And then their audiences take that as to mean something that it does not, and they go, "Yeah, it's keeping me from having. It's making me have to play the game."
That was my favorite. My favorite was like, at the end of a long work day, I just want to go home and not have to sweat and not have to like try really hard to win a game. I'm like, Then play a single player game, brother.
Yeah. Like, do something else. Like, okay, so
Also,
you want to ruin, like, everyone just got home from work. So you just want to stomp them and then they have a bad time and so you can have a good one? Play bots. Play against bots. I don't know. Play against easy bots.
Hold on, almost done, kid. Killing me.
It's just yes. That is something that people will always be. There's some category of streamer that will always be pushing that argument as like, well, I know a thing or two about these games because I'm smart and these game developers are lazy and dumb. Please watch my stream. And it's
right.
Fucked. It's fucked. Podcast@guard.bike is the email address. Send in an email and something will happen. Okay. I can't guarantee what. Aaron from Riverside writes in.
We'll get to play it first.
To say, as a FromSoft fan who used to like everything they put out, I have done a complete 180 on the topic of difficulty. At first, I thought the games shouldn't have any difficulty if the devs don't want them, but as I've gotten older, I realized this is kind of stupid. The Lies of P DLC added difficulty options and better weapons that made the game much easier, and I liked it way more than the base game. As I've gotten older, I realize I don't have 4 hours to put into one boss, nor does that appeal to me at all anymore. I hear Silk Song's endgame is particularly brutal, so I have a sinking feeling I will never finish it, which is shitty. I think the one aspect of difficult games that gets overlooked is time. That dopamine hit of overcoming difficult challenges has diminishing returns when bosses require 4 hours or more to master, for me at least.
All right, come put it over here.
This topic comes up and goes around and around. I think last time you were on, we ended up talking about a bunch of this. But with the release of Silk Song, it came up. I mean, obviously, Silk Song came out while you were in the Wrist Zone.
Yeah.
Is that something you are looking to, like, now as people talk more and more about it, where are you standing on playing that afterwards?
I'm still interested. I never beat Hollow Knight. I enjoyed it, and I got about halfway to 2/3 through, and then something came up, and I just like lost it. And then, going back to one of those games can be quite difficult, both mechanically and also like, where was I on the map? Where have I backtracked to? I think I'm kind of getting over the Vania style games. I had a friend recommend, I'm pulling the name up of it right now, a
Metroid. You should check it out.
After Image. Which is a kind of, 2D style Metroidvania style backtracking game where you have like 2 weapons. There's like 6 weapons you can have, and you can choose 2 and like have a little loadout. And it was really cool and really fun. And he plays a lot of these kinds of games and said it's one of his favorites. And I was playing it, and I'm like, I'm just so tired of backtracking. Like, to me, I was just talking about, I'll be willing to even like grind out Pokemon, like run around to hatch some eggs and stuff, because I can like look at my phone while I'm doing it, or other stuff. But like, I'm so tired of exploring. Whenever I get a new ability, like exploring every inch of a room I've been in 6 times just to see if there's another exit. Like, and I know you don't have to do that. A lot of the time it's just like, here's an upgrade, like here's a health tank, here's health missile tank, whatever. But I'm kind of just like over backtracking in general. So that's keeping me a little cool on Silk Song. I'll definitely pick it up one day and be like, oh, this is really great, because I loved like the combat and the feel of Hollow Knight. So I've heard this one is
that's
similar.
been like the backtracking, like the conversation around Silk Song. And I have another email here from John from Utah who asks, what do they mean when they say a game like Silk Song is hostile to the player? Aren't all games hostile to the player? Experiencing friction and overcoming challenges is the whole point of the medium, right?
No, it's not the whole point of the medium, dude. No,
it's not. In the case of Silk
not.
Song, the thing that I've heard complaints about specifically that I look at and go like, are the runbacks after you die.
It's interaction.
Like, I died here, and to get from here to there is like, now I have to play all of this stuff again. And none of that stuff is especially difficult or challenging. But in a game like Silksong, you always have to be on a little bit. You can't just like lackadaisically wander through.
Like even the Souls games have moved away from that, like giving you the stake of Marika outside of big bosses in Elden Ring.
Interaction, dude.
Yeah.
Those games don't have run backs anymore because they like people are like, this is stupid and boring. And like you said, like you can't just run in a straight line.
That is the heart of the medium.
Yeah, like it's the okay. Now I have 10 minutes of shit I need to do before I get to try again. And if I fuck up during that 10 minutes, I won't have enough health to. I mean, Silksong you can regenerate, you know. But in a lot of other games, you'll be like, okay, I can't get. Like I need to get through this stuff again, like near perfectly, so that I can have maximum health to try again.
That's what sort of ruined Control for me. Like there was a really notoriously bad run back at the end of Control around an elevator, like to get to the. And I was like, the last area was like really hard, like way harder than anything else in that game.
Interaction is the medium.
I had been
now
trained
gaming is gaming. You can have gaming. There's casinos full of gaming, dude.
Yeah. No, yeah, you're right. Like
there's football stadiums full of games.
In a sense, to the player.
There's
like,
horse tracks. There's
right?
all kinds. There's gaming.
Fighting a boss over and over.
There's a lot more gaming than just electronics. There's board games,
full of friction, and
there's tabletop games.
But then also putting on top.
So
of
no,
that,
gaming is not the heart of the fucking medium, dude.
Once and you're like, well, fuck, I can still maybe, and then you get hit a second time and you're like, well, I should just fucking die and restart and do this again.
I think that
I told you he was a slot guy.
Right and wrong ways to do that. Like you know, because you should there should be games with difficult bosses. Like it's not.
Did you?
I don't think anyone is saying like, oh, all these games you should just be able to like sleepwalk through them and finish them or whatever.
No, because then you're not interacting with them.
For me, like playing through the same
you're using the challenge to spur interaction, but the problem is you just get
I oftentimes
caught up in the challenge and not the interaction.
And so there's always another game right around the corner. And
more money
being that way to the degree of just like this isn't fun anymore. At some point, I get to a point where I'm like, I am not invested enough in this to bang my head against this. I'm going to go do something else and play a different game.
Right.
And I think nowadays, you know, like a lot of people are in, like a lot of people who play a lot of video games and care a lot about video games are now in that same boat. It used to be something that I always attributed to like, well, I mean, you know, every game just shows up in the mail because that's my job. But now more and more people just have greater and greater access to more and more games and more things they could be doing, and you know whatever their multiplayer game of choice that they're playing with their friends, and so there's a lot of pull in a lot of different directions, and so I think that I have a really short fuse for that type of content, for that type of design. It's not like, oh, you need to learn this and be good at it. I mean, that's the point, right?
Right.
But if your attempt to learn it is separated by a big chunk of time of you doing something completely mundane, like having to, you know, effectively corpse run back or whatever, that makes that worse. I want to just be able to try again right there. Like, okay, send me back into this battle. And let me try and do better this time, or let me, you know, if I have to leave that battle and go get stronger somewhere else, then let me do that.
And I think,
go ahead. No, you go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, to speak to the kind of general difficulty discussion that kind of led the question, like, I would love it if every game had difficulty options. I think it never makes a game worse to have multiple levels of difficulty, right? Like, I don't think there are people who
the
will
hardcore
say,
players
like,
won't fucking market it, dude.
Hard, you didn't really beat it. Those people are always going to be like that, whatever. But if it means more people
can't
can
get
enjoy a game
that
because there's
frenzy
an easy
from the
version
hardcore
of it, like there's
segment,
you take less damage, you deal more damage, etc.
Unless it's only beatable by.
I'm all for whatever gets more people to enjoy a video game, and like. You see that looped into like accessibility options a lot, which I think is not exactly the same.
Yeah.
Like having a good colorblind mode isn't the same as having an easy mode, right? Like they're kind of different. But
and this stuff gets lumped together where it's like the colorblind setting is right next to the setting for how wide do you want the parry window to be in some games. And it's like, It's weird. But I also appreciate the games have settings like that because in a weird way they are connected because the colorblind stuff of like this weapon glows this color and that means you can't block it, or this weapon glows this color and you have to parry it, or this. I actually do need to widen those parry windows open because it takes me longer to identify.
See, that's all interaction,
especially in games where
just
you
wanting
don't
you to
have
interact with
colorblind. Like very few games have good options for that
choices.
specific
It's
thing.
giving you
like
choices.
The color blindness options usually don't help enough, and so the parry window, like widening a parry window for like Assassin's Creed, it was annoying. But I had to play Assassin's Creed on basically like the easiest setting because their accessibility was so bad on the color blindness stuff.
Right.
So it's like it is sometimes tied together in ways you might not anticipate, but I also agree it is strange to have those things sitting right next to each other because I think there are a lot of players that would benefit from that stuff.
Sure.
And I come at it from the same perspective. Like last time this came up, people wrote in and it's always the same, like developers should have their vision. It's like, yeah, totally. And I don't think that every game necessarily needs to do this. And, like a game like Silk Song is going to sell no matter what. And it's a big sequel and all of that.
Yeah.
But I was
It
more
can
also
sell to
approaching
its
it
fan
from the
base.
idea of like, if you're making a new
But
game.
quit trying to sell it to people that you know will not enjoy it, dude.
An idea of like, hey, we should try to make this in a way that it can appeal to the widest possible audience, not necessarily while sacrificing everything that we chose to make this game about or whatever. But I think within reason, like a difficulty setting makes a ton of sense there because you have a ton of players. It's that thing of like, you never know when it's going to be someone's very first video game or their first video game in 20 years.
And they're only going to regret so many purchases before they stop making them, dude.
Right, yeah.
And then they end up in the free-to-play category or on watching YouTube videos, watching other people play the fucking game.
They never see most of the content you made as the developer in the first place. And like, what's the better alternative? Is it do you end up with, you should have options. You should have options.
Totally.
Johnny in the chat says this is how we end up with endless Ubi slop. And no, it isn't. Because some of those games don't have difficulty settings either. There's nothing wrong with having a challenging default setting. I don't think anyone is saying like, oh, these games all need to be easier by default. Like that's no one is saying that.
Right.
That is not the reasonable thing here.
Right.
But if you are making a thing within reason,
if you want a mass market product, you want mass market quality. You want
that game something.
You got to have the audience to sell it to, dude.
At a time when a lot of games are not selling well, at a time when a lot of games are getting buried by other releases, and indie games especially are having a tough time breaking through.
Even breaking even.
I look at that and say like, yeah, maybe it makes sense for you to find a way to have a wider appeal to people. When it was Hades, I think. Was it Dead Cell? But like Hades had an option for just straight up, fuck it, you're invincible.
Yes.
Like they had accessibility options that were just like, dude, just
called let's fuck shit up.
If you just want to play through this thing, you can. It's God mode. Here you go.
Right, and because like we're focused on not only the game but also telling an interesting story. So if you want to experience that.
The gameplay intertwined with the story. Your narrative and your gameplay should intertwine together. One should reinforce the other.
That's
when you're at next level,
but it's a solution that works for that game, right?
Yeah.
Like,
that's
I think a lot of people when they think about like there should
like this GTA, it's a fucked up world, dude.
Like, all you have to do is like go in and have a setting where you just change a bunch of numbers, like change.
Can't get too upset, dude. It tells you in the cutscenes it's a murderous.
Right.
Now that I have like I've been doing like little.
So the gameplay reflects that,
and it's crazy how complicated it is.
It's unenjoyable, dude. It's a Gnostic.
All the avenues you have to test stuff in.
It's a Gnostic vision of reality.
If it's not something you've been thinking about since like the beginning or near the beginning, it's going to be incredibly hard to implement. And so I think when people are like, well, why doesn't this have an easy mode? It's like, well, the developers have to release a game eventually. Like they only have so much time to pay, they're paying people to make a game, that game eventually has to come out and make money.
No, that's what AI is going to help with, dude. It's called wallpaper, bro.
Publishers and all that.
Painting the walls by hand.
So
we're going to
tough.
sell
Like,
wallpaper.
balance of...
and it's brutal out there in the marketplace. You know, like it or not, like, you know, there is a certain commercial aspect to this business, right? And I think that, like, especially for developers that are trying to break through with something,
the new software, the new development tools coming along should help greatly in tuning video games.
You know, something that
when you're not writing fundamental crazy code, you're just trying to tune a little bit, right?
Maybe not.
We should have developmental tools.
Is that so bad?
To help with that, to bring the cost down.
Less than intended experience, but still have
you're just fine tuning. You're just squashing bugs.
That's something you're okay.
Come on, dude.
That's still something. That's still someone.
Where's the developmental tools for that?
Man, you should check this out, or I'm going to play the next one of these from this developer. Like, it's just like to me that just becomes a basic logic thing at some point. Like, you should do that.
Yeah, every fucking pixel does not have to be hand painted, dude. Come on.
Like, basically, as the larger pursuit across all of video games at a high level has been this thing of like, where are the new players coming from? Where are they coming from? What are they? You know, how do we get them involved?
Yeah, and the population is only going to decrease.
We want 1 billion people playing games, and everything's an Xbox, and you know they want to lower that barrier on the hardware side so you can play Xbox games on your phone or your fridge or whatever. But like, you know, it gets talked about in different ways by different companies, but the goal is all the same, you know? If you look at the overall number of people who interact with a video game on a regular basis, it's a massive number. But the dirty secret that like when people talk about like, oh, the video game industry is so big, the part that they don't like to get into is like, well, a huge number of that is mobile focused only. Right. And a huge amount of that is happening like outside of the US and outside of the West and outside of like the strongholds for where these games are being developed. And so you have this changing face of the overall game player and who they are and what they want and everything happening on top of all this. And so if you're going to make a game that only appeals to like, if you've been playing console games for the last 20 years, you're going to love this. As someone who fits in that bucket, I'm fucking stoked.
Yeah.
But I look at it and go like, you know, I don't know if there are changes you could make that would also make it maybe appeal to people who are not all the way down that rabbit hole. That's probably smart too. Probably not the worst idea in the world in this day and age.
That's Play-Doh, man. Yeah, that's Play-Doh.
Brandon in Alabama wants to know if you care about Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment. What is your level of enthusiasm? Like, dear Ben, will you be getting Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment? What is your level of enthusiasm for this release? Do you think this game could be good?
Yeah.
Do you think they'll have some accessibility options like turn off this goddamn timer?
To cut cookies too, to make cookies? Okay.
No, yes, no.
Okay. Great. Ryan from Texas writes in and says, what's your favorite number to see in someone's like gamer tag or account name? Says, I know 420 and 69 are the most mainstream, but I'm a real fan of the 117.
That's good.
Yeah.
Halo.
I mean,
nice to have the Halo number.
Of the classic funny numbers, 420 is always going to get me because it's usually paired with like something you don't associate with weed culture. Or not usually, but when I laugh, it's like Bill Gates 420 or something. And I'm like, that's funny. I'm picturing Bill Gates smoking weed, and it's funny to me.
Don't look at
me. Maybe on a plane to some island or something, like smoking a joint.
Yeah, just having a good time. Just let it all hang out.
Yeah.
Let it all hang out, baby.
I like 2. Like somebody 2, because like 1 was taken as a fun joke.
Right. Which, if 1 was taken, that means that the one without a number was also taken, so the 2 is technically 3.
Yeah.
2 is pretty good.
The same one?
You know, I think a 666 is maybe a little, like, kind of played out, but it depends. Again, it kind of depends on what you're pairing it with.
I love you.
Like a Bill Gates 666. You know, that's funny, because then you're like imagining him. And maybe he's on a plane and he's unwinding and he's going somewhere, like a special island or something.
What are you doing?
You know, maybe he's doing
Did you listen to your mom?
But yeah, I like 666. I think is a rough one. I am not a fan of like the
shut because I'm in here yelling.
667 or 668, and people try to be like, it's the neighbor of the beast. It's like, yeah, how about the neighbor of shut the fuck up?
So where are you at?
I'm not a fan of those at all.
I like when it's you'll say like 93, and you can be like, oh, I know. You're 30. You're 32.
Yeah, a good one that's obviously a year is always good because you're just like, wow, you're doxing yourself out here.
Yeah, I bet you regret that. Huh?
Yeah, I'm gonna write that down and make a note of it for later as I pull together some other information about you. Yeah, those are always real silly. Especially you see people acting just like the fucking worst, and then they have a year in there, and you do the math on it, and you're like, this person is fucking like 35 years old, and they're being the worst fucking baby in this chat right now. Like, what the fuck? Like, that stuff's always...
Well, I think it's totally fine for a 35-year-old to get mad if maybe his position 5 was feeding the offlaner, and then you.
I don't mean. There are plenty of legitimate reasons. You know, if of course.
Can I tell a funny story that just reminded me of really quick?
Yes.
I was playing Overwatch years ago. I started playing in games with a relatively new group of people. I was friends with like a couple of them, and I got invited to this new Discord server, and we're playing, and there's 4 of us. It's like a 5-person team.
Like perfect.
And
want to let it dry?
So our 5th player like makes a really big misplay.
No,
and I was just like, I wasn't mean or anything. I was just like, oh, you gotta like, you can't be ulting like that. I mean, come on, something like that. You know, just like a. I was frustrated. It was like, whatever. And he's like, Ben?
Okay, more Play-Doh. But yeah, if you make a really good one, we can let it dry.
And like the 2 people who I was friends with were cracking up, and the other 2 people in the chat are like, "Who is this guy?" And I was like, "I can't be doing this anymore. I can't use voice chat anymore."
You need to hook up a voice changer to your thing, and
I remember when we
need to turn up the effects on it and change your voice
so that you can get away with it.
Oh, that's changing my
and be like, you can't, hey man, come on, you can't be ulting like that. What the hell, bro?
Oh, it's me. Oh, I'm somebody else. It was a real moment of like, just reminding me that these are humans on the other end of these computers playing these games.
And then of course you said like, yes it is, and what the fuck are you doing?
I didn't know what
you said. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Trying. Car?
Disappointing me
Cat?
and everyone I'm associated with.
You saw crabs.
Do better.
Yes.
I'm going to email Jeff and get him to record a voice slide flaming you and play it into my mic.
Hey man, you can't be ulting like that.
Crabs are not your favorite.
Perfect.
Why are you still playing Overwatch? You send that along with it. Let's see if I can find maybe one more here. Do you have any input? This is something that's been coming up a few times here. Do you have any input? And I'm sorry to put you on the spot like this. The Borderlands of bands. What band is the most Borderlands-esque?
Right. And it's because it's like everyone's going to jump to Cage the Elephant, right? Because it's like their music is in Borderlands.
No. Instead, everyone has been saying Offspring and like, someone said like Nickelback maybe, and
That's
Imagine Dragons.
Closer to me, Imagine Dragons, Mumford and Sons to me is
it's
a little
like it's more like
Borderlands-y.
stuff that sucks in the same unique way that Borderlands sucks.
Stuff that like when it was new, it had America by the neck, right?
Yes.
It was like, whoa, cool. And you look back fondly on that period of life, maybe, and be like, I had some real fun with that.
Mm-hmm.
And then now it's just like, you do not want to say you listen.
Exactly. Now you've got it.
Yeah.
This is why, and the thing that came up, not to cut you off when you think of something, but to give you time to think of something, Green Day was the suggestion, because early Green Day, game changer. Absolute huge thing, very important. They played my high school. And then at some point they became incredibly serious in a way that you're just like, oh boy, I'm not. Green Day's putting something else out again. Like, oh, what amazing statement are they going to make this time?
Yeah, that's right.
that they kind of personified. It's not an
I
obvious
can
choice
play
because I think
music.
Green Day has spent a long time longer being the latter than the former. You know, it's really just like their first big mainstream record, and the EPs and stuff that came, albums came out before that most people never heard. But I did because Green Day played my high school.
Yeah, careful with that one. Yeah.
But then, like, whatever, they had like 1 or 2 albums after that I think were still perfectly okay. And even American Idiot was like a timely thing at the time. You're like, oh, okay, yeah, cool. But now it's like, oh, they made a musical out of that? Really? Jesus.
Yeah. And now he's like updating lyrics of American Idiot to make it more timely.
American. A true American.
Yeah.
I'm stuck on like Mumford and Sons.
Yeah.
I'm thinking like Black Keys a little bit.
Okay, yeah. Black Keys is that I could see why.
Okay.
I think Black Keys were really good and then were really not.
I'm a big defender of like that first Coldplay album. I really think it's like still really good, and then like everything after that really kind of sucks.
Yeah, I don't think I even like that first record, but like I get, the vibe, yes, Coldplay, fucking Coldplay, Jesus Christ. Someone in chat saying 21 Pilots, but I would put it to you that is doing a disservice because at one point Borderlands was okay. 21 Pilots was never okay. Never.
What about like Weezer?
Weezer was one that came up because like early Weezer is like massive, it's hugely influential, like that's and then now they are a weird joke, and they wrote a lot of weird joke songs, which probably actually Weezer is a pretty good fit, I think, for the overall thing too. That is going to do it for emails. Thanks for coming, Ben.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's always a blast.
Yeah. Thanks for for putting some coins in the slang jar. As always. So what do you, are you going to put any of these games you made out? You going to let anybody play any of the stuff you made, or are you just making stuff for yourself and like letting a couple of people see it and then just going like, I don't know, you're just trying to learn stuff?
Definitely at that stage right now. It's not like we're putting it. It's me and my friend Stuart.
So you're not a solo developer, I see.
No, unfortunate. But we are going to be under a team of 3, which seems to be like the magic number.
Okay.
For big indie successes. I don't think we're putting anything out on Steam anytime soon. We have a little website. It's a mystery. I'll let you find it if you can find it. I tweeted it once, or Blue Sky. I still call it fucking tweeting.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't know. Like the alternative is to call it skeeting, which I think is like funny, but not. You can't just go around doing that.
No.
Yeah.
We like to do a little stress test, so pay attention to my Blue Sky. I'll post it and then delete it. We'll like do a soft launch eventually. Now that my hand's better, I'm gonna be back to streaming. I was streaming some Dark Souls 1 for the first time, which was a lot of fun. I finally got to the real Dark Souls has started, and you have to go light the 3 flames or whatever.
Poison swamp stuff. Was that?
I made it through the poison swamp, but I think I have to go back to the poison swamp again.
That's pretty good, girl.
Twitch.tv/Glenn Tennis. One hand on Glenn. But
was a big
I'm
burger.
mostly just chilling.
That was delicious.
All right then. We'll see you soon, hopefully.
Yeah.
And for everyone else, we'll see you next time.
So you can make a new one?
Bye-bye.